Hello Gearslutz, this is Jan reporting from the Superbooth, and I'm here with Matthew from Squarp, and he's going to show us this new sequencer. Well, it's been out a year, but no one's covered it, and it's quite a nice thing. So here he is.
Hello Gearslutz, so I'm going to introduce you with the Hermod, the new module from Squarp Instruments. It is an 8-voice modular sequencer with 8 CV gate outputs and 4 CV inputs. So the module is arranged in 4 main modes. If you're familiar with our previous sequencer, the pyramid, you'll find it familiar. So basically, when you start up the module, the first thing you want to do is set up your tracks. So this is in track mode. You can select the track you want to set up. Each track, by default, is one of the voices here. So if I want to select a track and make it polyphonic, you can select the number of voices here and change it to polyphony. You can really make Hermod the way you want in your modular rig. It's just really easy. By default, it's just 8 mono voices, but you can have, say, 2 polyphonic voices, 1 voices with velocity, and there's also a special layout that is called Modulation. So I'm going to create it here, a modulation track. It will turn blue, and you can use the modulation track to sequence, say, the cutoff of a filter or anything that is not related to notes. So when you've done your layout like that, you can then select the track you want to record or edit, and then here the keyboard is set up to the active track, so it will play on whatever track I have selected. So here is the first track, and I can just play it. Then I can go to step mode, the sequencer is running, I can just hit record and just record a sequence like that. And when I'm happy with it, I can just, I can also change it directly here in step mode. So I can select one of the notes and change the pitch. And the other one, it acts just like a normal step sequencer. Of course, here the zoom is we can't access every note. For that, we'd have to zoom in, and we can of course do that. We can zoom in a lot in the sequence, so to have a more precise editing over the sequence you've just recorded. So here, I can say this note, I can delete it, I can change it, change the pitch, change the length. I can really edit the sequence the way I want. I'm going to zoom out. One thing I need to mention about the sequences, you can make them 64 steps length, but a step is not one single note. Each step has a 24 ppqn resolution, so you can actually have really long sequence if you play at a really low tempo. Before continuing to the effect mode, I would like to talk about an important thing, which is the connectivity of the device. I didn't talk about it earlier. You have a USB host port, which is right now connected to the keyboard. You have a USB device port that you can connect to your computer, and then 1 MIDI input port and 1 MIDI output port. So you can really use Hermod as a gateway between your modular rig and the rest of your setup in a live situation or in the studio. So I'm just going to delete that simple sequence and show you one of the great perks of Hermod, which is the randomizer. You can create very easily random patterns in this way. Just randomize it, and then I'm going to switch to the effect mode. So this is really the fun of Hermod. You can start with a very simple sequence. So I'm going to go back to step mode, delete the random sequence, and just add a very long note, like an 8-step note. So now when I play it, well, almost nothing happens, and I'm going to start with, say, a Euclid Effects, which is a very simple Euclid Generator. so I can choose the number of steps, number of fields. Then I can add a randomizer. There you go. Then I can add, I don't know, a scale effect, so that each of these random notes are playing into a scale. So this is really the cool feature of one of the cool features of Hermod, is that you can start with something really simple and make a completely different sequence using the different effects. So next up is the last mode I didn't talk about, is the sequence mode. So each of these 8 tracks are stored into a sequence, and you can have up to 8 sequences into a project. And when you have different sequences, you can chain them very easily to make, say, like you can chain them and that they will loop according to the loop length that you've set up. So obviously there's a lot of different features, like small features that I can't talk about in a small video. For example, the routing capabilities between the MIDI inputs, MIDI outputs are like we try to make it very advanced. Like you can record something using the CV gate inputs, then put effects on it, and then output it via the MIDI out to another synthesizers. You can really use Hermod as a very powerful MIDI to CV and CV to MIDI interface. And of course you have the internal sequencer. So it started, the basic idea of Hermod was this interface, and then we made it a sequencer, and we took all the good features, our favorite features from Pyramid, the effects, and made it a Eurorack module. So yeah, I think that's it. And if you want to know more about the modules, you can go on our website. We have a very good manual to really know how the features works.